today.
Okay, but I have the convention cards, so don't look for them. Oh dear, they were plenty high already, but Forrester saw that he wanted another go opposite a splinter in clubs, which is a little strange, I have to say, with no ace of clubs and 3 small diamonds. Let's see if our Englishman, Mark Horton, can defend 4 spades. He'll try hard.
Right. Can I construct a defence to... I'm not sure that I can, to be honest.
The good thing about it is that even 4 would go down. So that's lucky. So yes, they will go an extra down in 5.
Of course, I can offer a global defence to any mistakes made by any members of the 3 English teams competing. Right, that following the decision to leave the European Union, they're all in a state of shock and unable to think clearly.
Oh, right. That might be an issue. I can understand. Absolutely, yeah. We are very surprised in Denmark, we have to say, and we think you made a poor decision. But it's your decision, not ours.
Yes. There's a hint of the royal we there, Roland. I don't mind saying it wasn't my decision. And in fact, there are a lot of players from the United Kingdom actually at the tournament wearing badges which say it wasn't me.
Oh, right.
A certain amount of humour.
A certain amount of room. Do you remember some years back? I think it was in China, where the American ladies had badges with "We didn't vote for Bush."
Yes.
Bush, yeah.
Yes.
But that wasn't popular, and they really shouldn't have done that.
Yes. Still, I could easily see that the next president of the United States might have links to bridge.
Who plays bridge? Not Trump. No Trump. That's bridge related, isn't it? No Trump.
Yeah, it could easily be, yes. That will be the badge to wear at the next US Nationals. No Trump.
Absolutely. Well, it didn't matter who declarer was here, because both have a natural diamond lead. And Forrester will say, oh well, we would have been down in 4. He'll see that soon. He knows that already. Jack is from Shoreditch, either Singleton or Jack X. Oh, what happened here? The Jack was allowed to hold.
Ah, there's a sting in the tail then, Roland.
Oh dear. Now it cannot be defeated.
Yes,
North
has snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
He had it 2 down. He didn't know that, of course, but he knew it.
Yeah, he had over a barrel.
Well, he didn't know he had it down, actually, David, because this could be from Jack 10 and another.
No, I'm Goliath, Roland. You're David.
So, it wasn't really silly. It's silly when you see all cards. I agree. But it's not necessarily silly not to overtake here. On the other hand, where would your tricks come from? When looking at that dummy, you have a maximum of 1 club trick. Probably no hearts, no spades for sure. So you need 2 diamond tricks.
You see how they could have avoided this, Roland?
Yes.
4 clubs was specifically a singleton, then South could have avoided this catastrophe by leading the 8 of clubs. Then, switching to the Jack of diamonds, it would have been clear to North that they needed 2 diamond tricks, and it would have cost him nothing to overtake.
I see, yeah. And 4 hearts in the other room got the same defense. So that rolled in. Same 11 tricks declarer will take here. What a peculiar flat board.
Yeah, there was no clue about the singleton in the other room. The only clue was that North had overcalled in diamonds. The bidding started East 1 heart, West 2 clubs, and North bid 2 diamonds on his ace king to 4, and of course South led a diamond. But the only clue is that if South had held diamond support, he might have raised 3 clubs to 3 raised 3 diamonds over 3 clubs. So, very funny way to start the match.
Yeah. Now here, North-South can make a slam. In spades, that is. But it's a poor slam, because you need to play the spade suit for no loser, which is against the odds, obviously. The only chance is a double to queen, and you get lucky if you get to slam.
I've just had an email message from Bob Hammond, who says, point out to Roland it's a good slam because it makes.
Ha ha. Very good, very good. Yeah. I would have believed you if you just said that in 3 or 4 minutes, but certainly not now.
Yeah, all right then. Okay. And it's not the 1st of April, is it? No, right.
Yeah, I know that some say that good slams are the ones that make. And Zach will still remember what he did the other day, won't he, against France, where he let a slam make, when he covered the Queen of Hearts. Do you remember that board? I don't know if you saw it. I think it was in the bulletin, but you might not have read it, Mark. Did you? Anyway, Mark is probably away. 2 clubs is Drury, so a near opener with spade support.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have quite a few people in the office, I can imagine. Must be very distracting for you.
I've got a lot of people in the office and they constantly come and go. They do try their best to be quiet at
Yeah.
all. At least it's funny, Roland, from this morning, that a follower of the French Open team said that, you know, when things are going your way, it appears you may walk on water. So this morning, one of the French pairs essayed a grand slam, missing an ace, and an opponent doubled. But he was not the one on lead, and his partner did not find the right lead. So the grand slamming clubs, the doubled grand slamming clubs made.
No, the
You know,
redouble.
funny old game.
Redouble
Redoubled,
grand
was
slam.
it? Oh,
Yes.
even better.
Yeah, we watched it. 7 clubs redoubles. We had to calculate to figure out that that was 2,660 points.
Oh,
It's not an everyday
that
score.
It is a common result down our way.
Very funny. Do you think, here is a good question, please ask as much as you like, was it bad not to investigate slam by Barrel here? Well, Singleton King, not ideal, is it? Partner is a passed hand. You need pretty specific values with partner for slam to be cold, for a start. So, well, I can understand his four-spected. It's true that you can make slam here, but it's against the odds. So, no, I don't really blame him. He could have, and decided against. Now, Mark, do you remember, I think it was almost a week ago when Israel played against France, how an impossible slam made there?
I confess I do not, but there have been so many impossible contracts made in this tournament that one more probably wouldn't make that much difference.
No, I can tell you the French had a misunderstanding of some sort. So they ended in 6 spades with 2 certain hard losers and no way to get rid of them. Sack was sitting east.
I know the one, Roland, yes. I know this story. Lead the Queen of Hearts and
Yeah.
get the man with King to 3, or for that matter Ace to 3 to cover it. That's an old chestnut, isn't it?
Yeah. Another question here is, of course, that some South players will open the hand, in which case it's very difficult to stop North. And then they get lucky. And you know what? David Bakshi may open the hand in the other room.
I'll bet you, Roland, that more than half the field bid a slam on this board.
No, Bakshi did not open. And Gold made a try, so they are now in 5 spades. He discovered that they were off on key card and the Queen of Trumps opposite a 3-card race, so that then it would be against the odds, obviously, to bid the slam. Best he could hope for was Jack 10x in spades in his partner's hand. But going back to the hand where Sack actually covered the Queen of Hearts, it was really a blind spot, because what people didn't know, and certainly not the journalist who wrote the article, was that South Declarer had shown 4-card support for hearts, dummy's 5-card suit. So it can never ever be right to cover the queen. Yes, partner might have Jack X, but that's just the over trick if you play low. It was obvious that the declarer had no outside losers. So Israel will gain an imp here. Gold played safe in spades, leading towards the jack, apparently. Indeed he did. Ace of clubs was led, hard switch to the king, ace of spades, and a low towards jack 7. Is this a misscored hand? Why didn't he get 12 tricks? Did I miss something?
I can't tell you, Roland, because I was temporarily just looking at the scoreboards.
Well, you might have had a diamond loser in the end game. Yeah, looks right. Yeah, okay. So, another Drury sequence. Well, 2 in a row. 1 spade, 2 clubs. Roughly 9 to 11 with at least 3 spades. And here you see a textbook example of why Mr. Douglas Drury of Toronto invented his convention, the Drury Convention. He was fed up with his partner's light openings in third seeds. You know, he drove him to the 3 level, and the contract went down. So he said, that can't be right. Well, okay, if you open light in third seed, we have to do something about it. So he invented his convention, now a very popular convention, the Drury Convention, where you can get out at the 2 level if opener is light. This is the perfect hand for it. Parel is very light for his opening in third seed, and obviously he would have signed off. He did, sorry. 2 spades, the weakest possible, which isn't original Drury, 2 negative. But people have switched to 2 spades, back to trumps, the weakest possible. If you can read that partner has 3 diamonds, it's actually good play to insert the 10 rather than the king. In case partner has the queen, you'll score the king later. So we got one for text now, as you see, Tom Townsend, a world-class player in his own right. He has played for England on many occasions. with a very interesting ID, mug. I don't think he's referring to the mug you use for maybe a cup of tea or coffee. Do you, Mark?
No, I don't, Roland. No, it's very nice. It's a good choice of handle for Tom.
Yeah. Yes, it's the same in all categories. That number 7 will also get a spot in next year's Bermuda Bowl in Lyon in France. Venice Cup Seniors Bowl also, of course, if France is among the top six. If France finishes among the top 6.
Yes, I think the big excitement in the Open, Roland, will come on the last day, where England's last 2 matches, if I remember correctly, are against Italy and France.
Yes, that's a very tough finish. But then again, you have many top matches tomorrow. Germany, Norway, Netherlands, Poland, you see. And they will all eat the piece from each other. Right, so 6 imps to England. 3 clubs went 1 down in the other room. Well, you can safely say, Tom, if you can hear me, that number 7 will also advance, provided that France finishes among the top 6. And that's well, it's not a certainty, but I would bet on it. Double now by North to show extra values. The perfect shape for it. Could also be 2 hearts, a reverse if he wants to, which he chose to do. Now the problem here, of course, for North-South is that no game makes. I don't think they can stop in 3 diamonds. That would be the spot on this layout.
There's something very odd about that board 19, Roland. If you follow the play in the other room,
Oh, before
it looks like the setting trick consisted of North playing the 4 of Jacks, South the Queen, and then West, who could have taken the trick with the King of Spades, allegedly played the 7 and conceded the setting trick. So I'm a bit dubious about it.
But you don't have to wonder anymore, Because when you look in movie now, it has been corrected to making.
Yes, just
We're
noticed.
back.
God, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah. So we're back to 0-0. Now that was an excellent stop on this layout, wasn't it? Wow. Would you be able to stop in 3 diamonds on this auction after your partner's reverse? Most people play 2-note trumps here as a way to get out in either 3 clubs or 3 diamonds. So maybe you can.
I think that 2-note trump, it has a name, doesn't it, Roland? Is it the wolf sign-off?
No, not that I know of. I mean, I know it will sign off, but isn't that after 1x, 1y, 2-note trumps? And then there's a way to sign off in your 5-card major, unless partner has 3-card support for it. Isn't that the case? Like, you know, 1 club, 1 spade, 2-note trumps, 3 clubs.
Yes, I think it's only after 2-note trumps, isn't it? It's just your side bidding 1 plum, 1 great, 2-note trump. But I'm sure I have seen somewhere that 2-note trump has a name.
Yeah, you could be right. Do you have dogs in the office?
No, that was Tacky sneezing. He the next time he does it, he...
Well, I just thought I could hear a dog bark.
He will be
So there
taken
was
out
a
and
sneeze.
acknowledge that he's sneezing.
So East-West lead 3rd and 5th against suit contracts. So this is the systemic lead from that holding. Declarer doesn't know where the queen is. Robson would have led the same from queen, say queen 9, 7, 5. And I'm asked, why didn't Robson lead a top spade? Because he knew that dummy would be short there. He has shown a 3-suiter, patterned out really, 5 clubs, 4 hearts and 3 diamonds. There was perhaps a case for a trump lead on an auction like that. Yeah, the 2-note trump bid here, if you play that as artificial, is actually not called Lebensol, it's called Ingberman. Isn't that right? That's an American convention. Ingberman, I think that's right. Ingberman, yeah. We can look it up, or you can Google it. Is it a double N at the end? I'm not sure about that. Al, you Google it. I think it is spelled Ingberman, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, you're right, Roland, it is. I've been having a look at it, and it's well documented on bridgeguys.com, as indeed are suspect
Yeah.
every convention known to man.
And Monroe Ingberman was a player and theorist in the 60s and 70s. I can promise you that North-Souths are not the fastest players in the world. And when you add Robson to that selection, then you will know that this could take time. But so far, the other room hasn't overtaken us.
Yes, you can't see any of these players ever being good at motor racing, can you? I mean, none of them would be favourites to do the fastest lap.
Oh, definitely not. And although Robson is high up on my top 10 list of slow players, North-South hadn't quite made it to the list yet. But, you know, it can change. Where's David Bird, I'm asked. Well, he's sitting out now. He'll be back for the England women in the next round against France, and that should be a good one with you, Mark, right? That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Roland. That could decide the destination of the gold medals.
It could indeed. I don't know
Although the Polish ladies will have
why
something
this...
to say about it.
Absolutely, they're good. And I don't know why this particular spectator wanted David Bird. It's not a one-no-trump contract. We always tease David, as you may know, Mark, when we have one-no-trump contracts. He hates them.
Yes, so do I. I tease him a lot. I suspect the spectator has noticed the scores 0-0, which is something David must be getting used to in this championship.
Good move maybe by Forrester to duck the first club. Clara might be tempted to let it go. He'll still make it, but it is better to go up and play a spade off dummy. Which he just did. Well, at least he went up. He doesn't know that West has ace king of spades, obviously. But he did overcall one spade after all, so why not? Now, this is funny play. The Forrester didn't get his king of clubs, and West doesn't have the last trump, which is a master trump, of course. So De Clara played the suit, the club suit, for no loser, although the king of clubs was offside. And going back to Monroe Ingberman for a second, he actually also invented, or at least contributed to unusual versus unusual, the May asking bid and the fragment bids. He died very young. I think he was 50. So Declarer didn't get hearts right. He cannot reach the dummy anymore. Oh, sorry, he can. He has a heart. So they can only take 2 spade tricks. Ace king of spades, that's the best Robson can do. And he did. Our operator at this table is Lajos Hanka. We've had him before. He's good. So I think we are in safe hands there. Where would we like to be? Well, a slam on a finesse. If clubs come in, they don't. So slam is down. On board 20, they are in 3-note trumps in the other room, and that will take some time to play. Two clubs is game forcing.
Actually, I don't think 3-no trumps will take long if the defenders lead spades, Roland. I mean, Declarer will lose a trick very quickly and then they'll just cash out.
Do you think even Barrel can play this quickly?
No, I was thinking of the 3-no trumps in the other table on board 20.
Oh, you don't think that will take too long? But it...
No. Not if they've led a spade.
Yes, Levin led the ace of spades. But he's thinking now. He had better continue the suit if he wants to defeat the contract, because Declarer can take 9 tricks after that if he guesses hearts. But why would he?
My German teacher at school, Roland, always advocated that you shouldn't think. He'd say, "Don't think, boy, it's dangerous."
Yeah. Now, I was thinking of this board, Mark, this won't take too long. Of course, if you get a hard lead, you may still be thinking, but you are okay. So what should you lead from the east hand? Jack of spades or low heart? That's a case for both.
Well, from his point of view, he's hoping that the defenders might have a club trick, given his singleton. So I'm not surprised to see him lead the king of hearts, because that rates to be the suit where they can set up several tricks quickly. It's not the case this time, but I think heart was probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
As it happens, a low heart would have worked a little better, but not enough better.
Levin switched to trick 2, and now the contract can make in the other room on 23, no trumps. Well, perhaps he really has to look through the back of the cards to make his 3 no trumps still. There's no real reason to go up with the ace of hearts.
What did he switch to, Roland?
Something. Sorry, I didn't see it. But he switched to something. His partner got in, and then he switched back to spades, the 10 of spades. The contract could make now. He switched to the 7 of clubs, I'm told. I'm very surprised that Levin didn't continue spades. His partner had shown 4-card support. Levin overcalled spades, and when Norse doubled, he spit 3 spades, which surely must show 4-card support. So maybe he thought he could get more tricks if declarer had queen empty to 3. That's why he switched to get his partner in to lead the spades through. Probably. They had to be pushed to 4 spades here. Contract I can actually make on this layout. They don't have the values, and East already showed 5 spades.
Yes, I would expect declarer to make 3 no trumps after spade lead, club switch, win and a spade back. Say West wins and clears the spades. It doesn't really matter. So now
yeah, but
4 club
yeah, but listen.
Yes. Why do you want me to listen? I mean, he's going to cash the ace, the jack of clubs. Cash the jack of clubs. He's going to play ace king of hearts, come to hand with the jack of clubs if the queen of hearts hasn't fallen, and then take the diamond finesse. But as the queen of hearts falls, he's got 9 tricks.
Oh, he's remaining 10 of clubs because the jack is no longer there. But he's thinking, and he's been in the tank for 5 minutes now. Now Levin won with the ace of spades and cleared the suit. But actually hasn't played a card from dummy yet.
Yes, he'll have pitched one diamond, won't he? Well, pitch a diamond and a heart. Looks, after all, he only needs 3 heart tricks.
So after 5 minutes, he discarded a diamond from dummy. And then played a heart to the jack. There you go, Mark. It wasn't that obvious.
Right, well, what do I know? Oh, it just looks like a combination play, doesn't it? Queen of Hearts, Doubleton, or the King of Diamonds on side.
Yeah. Now East failed to unblock the 9 of spades, so the country went only 1 down. Could have been 2 down at that point, but first 7 imps to his row.
Yeah, it's an easy game when you can see all 4 hands.
Yeah. Well, you see, they bid to 4 spades here. I'm asked, who are you rooting for? Well, I'm pretty neutral in this match. Don't ask Mark.
No, I'm just impartial, Roland. I like to see, you know, well bid and well played hands, well defended hands. Doesn't really matter who's playing.
You know what, I was asked the same question this morning by the same spectator, and I said exactly the same. I'm here to watch good bridge.
What I think is important to realise is that in the European Championships, that every player in every team is capable of making an outstanding play. What distinguishes the teams at the top of the table is that they are more consistent. They are less likely to make an error. And of course, bridge is all about making errors, but because they only make a small number of errors, they tend to accumulate more victory points. But every player in this tournament is capable of making a brilliant play.
Absolutely right. It's a risk for England that Robson gets spades wrong. And later he doubled 2 spades. Could he have a singleton spade? And sorry, it is of course Forrester playing the hand. Maybe he doesn't have the entries to get it wrong, because he also needs to play clubs, take a club, second club finesse. So by default, he is a favorite to get them right, isn't he?
Yeah, do you know, Roland, the other day I had to ask Tony Forrester how Andrew Robson had played a 6-club contract. And Tony said, extraordinarily well. He played every card I called from dummy. So in fact, Tony was the declarer, not Andrew. So both made the same mistake.
And sadly for England, he took the wrong view in spades. So what do we have here? We have a game north-south, most likely 3 no trumps. Short, sweet, 1 no, 3 no. Yeah, no need to stamen with a hand like this. You have 14 high opposite 15, 17. So you have more than you need for making game. So just bet 3 no is my recommendation. Don't stamen. Any views, Mark? He used puppet stamen.
Well, I'm sure in principle you're right, Roland. You've got lots of points. You should usually make 3 no trump, but I always get a little bit nervy when I've got a double. If I had one of my hearts or diamonds was a club, I wouldn't give it a second thought, but I might consider bidding 2 clubs, intending perhaps to play in hearts, but I think in principle you'd be very unlucky to go down in 3 no trump.
Yeah, Peter Crouch just gave me a hand where you could go down, obviously, in 3 no. Where South has a 16 count even, ace, queen, jack, 4th, king 4th, ace, queen, X, and 2 small. Where you have a co or heart, go down in 3 no. Interesting question here. Isn't it much better here to play 3 diamonds, as may or may not have a 4-card major, as 3 no trumps gives info to the opposition? Well, yeah, 3 no trumps would normally deny a 4 and 5 card major. So Sack actually ignored his baby spades. If you bid 3 diamonds, show at least 1 4-card major, then the other one will bid his 4-card major by bidding 3 spades, and then you have revealed much more, in my view. So no, I don't think you should bid 3 diamonds.
A lot more work for the operator, Roland. Many more bids to enter. I thoroughly approve of just bidding 3 no trump. Saves time and space. That looks like a Polish-style 2 spades, doesn't it? Spades in a minor, or a Dutch Muiderberg, with East bidding a pass or correct 3 clubs.
Yes, it does. So maybe Mike could help us out with some seniors match. where one match is scored already with all 16 boards and the result is 0-0.
Right, I will check.
It's Romania against Estonia in the seniors.
I will dispatch a runner, Roland. I suspect something possibly interesting may have happened.
Okay, we'll wait for you. Now 4 diamonds will go down. It may be very costly actually. Now you're being shortened. They can tap you in hearts, and Norse will have more trumps than you have soon. Yeah, it's quite obvious the declarer can't afford to play trumps. He knows diamonds are 4-1, if not worse. So yes, he must play spades. Club to the dummy and a spade up to minimize the loss. That's exactly what he does. Well, would have been better for Sack to have inserted the Queen of Hearts at trick 1. And the lead of the 2 hearts did indicate that partner had 3 cards support for hearts. He can still play hearts. It would have been better to still have the ace and the king. Maybe it's the same thing actually. So, when Forrester got spades wrong on board 22 and he went 2 down, he lost 8 imps. He could have gained instead. The Israelis were in 3 spades at the other table making. An alternative for Sack, if he doesn't go for the tap, is to switch to his singleton trump.
Roland, I have the answer to your conundrum about Romania and Estonia.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right. The match has stopped because Romania, yes indeed, never started I think, although they may have played at one table for a while, unknowingly. But one of the players, it must have been a Romanian I think, because Estonia are the ones with the victory points, aren't they, credited, just simply did not turn up. Obviously, almost certainly some miscommunication about who was supposed to be playing, so very sad.
Yeah. So the third pair was not at the venue. and couldn't replace them. I see.
Well, I think the problem is even if they had been at the venue, the chances are they'd have been in the Viewgraph Theatre and they'd have seen at least one board.
I told you earlier, Sack is not quick, Barrel is not quick, and you can see what I mean now. Sweden leading by 30-1 against Poland. Very important match for Poland, that is. I mean, Sweden would probably qualify, but looking very difficult for the Poles now. Remember, they still have to play the Netherlands and one more strong team, I think. Yes, Ireland also. So not looking good for Poland at the moment. Mark, do you have any idea of when I get our matches for tomorrow?
No, I don't, because the thing, it's obviously going to be, or it has the potential to be, an extraordinarily exciting day, and we want to leave the decisions, or I believe the powers that be want to leave the decisions until as late as possible today so that we can bring the most exciting matches, particularly the ones surrounding the teams who might just be on the cusp of qualifying. But I'm pretty sure we'll see Italy versus England and England versus France in the Open Series. But it should be a very thrilling day.
France in the Open Series against Germany, you mean? But yeah, but they can't be both matches both, because it's in the same round.
Right.
I sent my suggestions as usual this morning, as you might have seen.
I know there is an email there. I haven't had time to open it yet.
But never mind. Jan Cameras probably has, and Simon. So they'll probably take that into consideration, because I noticed that they pretty much choose the same matches I suggest. Well, it'd be a very good idea to go up the ace of spades now and let partner take as many trump tricks as he can. You see the problem if you don't go up. Not only do you declare his first trick with the king of spades, but you also allow him to ruff spades. Now a diamond is certainly best. Can he find it? Two more imps to Israel on board 23. Perfect defense, this. We'll just cover this with the 8s and sit down and wait back and wait for his 3 trump tricks. I really don't understand the pause now. They cannot remove those exit cards. They can't remove those exit cards, so it's totally safe. Just play the 8. I've got a question from a spectator. Maybe Mark can answer that. He knows something about the Bulgarian players. I'm asked, who is Viktor Kalchev? Mark, apparently he plays with Danilov. Do you know him? I don't.
Not personally, no. But he's likely to be pretty good. And more and more promising players emerging from Bulgaria as their federation gradually expands.
Yes, but they seem to have problems with the women, right? Cannot really feel the strong team in the women's. You remember how they used to have strong teams?
Well, my famous woman player is Brian Senior's wife, Venna, who won a medal in the pairs in Venice, but then subsequently left Bulgaria. And of course Desi Popova, another extraordinarily talented woman player, but she has a young son, Christian, and I think she finds him much more interesting than the card table, and who can blame her for that? And there are a number of others who've not sort of quite, broken through, but were very talented.
Yeah, they also had Matilda Poplilov before she moved to Israel.
Yes, Matilda Laura, in the days when she played with Nevena, Deleva and Laura. There's also a problem of money, Roland, right? Bulgaria is not a rich country by any means, and a small federation means you really need a lot of financial support. So it's not so easy for the smaller countries to field lots of teams in the big tournaments.
No, I agree. And I'm pretty surprised, or well, pleasantly surprised that we see teams from Belarus, Faroe Islands, Cyprus, very small federations. They don't have much money.
No, I think it's great, absolutely fantastic. It shows that bridge is alive and well, and don't forget that some of the smaller major championships.
You broke up, actually. I didn't hear the last part. That some of those federations are.
I probably left took my finger off the mouse. Know that the smaller federations are actively supported by the EBL in financial terms to make it easier for them to take part in the major championships.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. So some of expenses are paid for by the EBL.
Yeah, I don't know the exact conditions, but you can apply for assistance, and as far as I'm aware, it's always forthcoming.
Very good. Nice to have 37 teams in the Open. I would have expected more in the women's, I have to say. It may be a little disappointing with only 24.
Well, that's about the sort of par. I think actually the entries are very good here. I know the EBL are very, very pleased with the level of entries. In 2 years' time, the length of the tournament is likely to be extended by 1 day, which will mean that if this size of entry is repeated, that the Open teams will get a few more days where they only have to play 3 matches.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Now there was a case here for Zach to pass 1 spade. I think I would have done that. Looking at a 12 count and 3 card support for spades, partner is a passed hand. I think this is the ideal hand for a pass of 1 spade. And now they're getting to 2 diamonds instead. 2 clubs is a puppet to 2 diamonds. That's the part of two-way check back stamen, where 2 clubs is a puppet to 2 diamonds, either to play or to show an invitational hand. If you have a game-forcing hand, you will bid 2 diamonds instead of 2 clubs.
At the moment, Roland, with England losing this match 19-0, they have dropped to 9th place significantly. They are now behind Israel and Italy. So they're making life hard for themselves if they want to secure a trip to France next year.
Yeah. Do the English really want to go to Europe anymore after last night?
Might not be allowed to.
Yeah, and as you said, they have a very tough run in the last 2 matches tomorrow. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that it's right to pass 1 spade. Why would you bid 1 of trump? You know you don't have a game on. So why not let partner play 1 spade? If he's allowed to, of course. Robson may reopen, I know that. But you don't want to go any higher. 12 count opposite a partner. That will show 4. Opposite a pass partner. Pass shows exactly what he has. 3 spades and a weak hand. This won't play very well. Both spade honors off. You can get a club away, yes, on the 3rd heart. When hearts are 4-3. but I don't think it's enough to make it. Thanks, Tom. So the carer will play 3 rounds of hearts now. King of hearts and heart to the ace, queen of hearts, discarding his club loser. That's just normal play. But he's far from home yet. In fact, I don't think he can make it. With both spade honours off, he must go off. He can try a club ruff now and a spade from dummy. But it's not good enough. Sri Lanka batting, I'm told. Thank you. I can't watch everything. It's terrible. Football, cricket, bridge. Poor soul. What am I supposed to do?
Well, there's no football today, Roland.
That's true, but you know, we have cricket. Then of course, I have the next round I'm sitting out. Okay, so I can watch some of it. They also played in 1-0 trump in the other room. The difference being that they couldn't get to 1 spade because they had a 1-0 trump opening in their methods. First in hand, not non-vulnerable. Very much looks like the same 1 down in 2 diamonds here. And England still not on the scoreboard. They had to give him a spade trick and a diamond. Down 1. So while this is playing out, Mark, maybe you can tell us, how about the EBL? Are they happy with the arrangement, venue, staff,
Right, I
everything?
didn't quite catch all that, Roland, because somebody was asking me a question about the mysterious multi. But my understanding, the EBL are very, very pleased with the. I think the conditions for the players are exceptionally good. I think the only minor, and it's a very minor drawback, is that we are a little bit outside the town, not horrendously so. So you can't just walk out of the venue and wander into a restaurant or a bar or go somewhere to relax. But really wonderful conditions. This is a fantastic stadium. Indeed, you could say actually for a football club which expected to have a capacity of around 20,000 spectators, which is what Ferencváros do, it would be hard to better the design of this particular stadium. So I think they're very, very pleased. And Hungary, of course, is a wonderful place to be. It's not an expensive country, which is great. And we've been blessed with the most fantastic weather. It really is extraordinary. Lots of people building on their suntans.
Nice to hear. Yes, Ferencváros, the great Hungarian team of the past. Who doesn't remember Puskás?
I certainly remember Puskás, but he didn't play for Ferencváros. He played for Honvéd, I think.
He did, yes. Before he actually switched to Real Madrid, right? Yes, he played for Real Madrid with the great Di Stefano from Argentina.
I have a very amusing question, Roland, from a spectator who asks, who has the worst temper out of all the players at the tourney?
You know what? I got the same question, probably from the same spectator, and I actually replied that we won't go into that. I really don't think we should we? Why would we insult anyone?
We have heard some very humorous comments from players in the heat of the moment, but alas, we are not allowed to repeat any of them, but they can be very funny.
No trumps down 3 in the other room, probably on the club lead. No. West led a passive spade to the 10 and jack. But with only one entry to the dummy, Kerr couldn't really work on diamonds successfully. And it probably won't be any better here for Barrel. He may not go 3 down, but I can't see any way of making it. Even if he had been able to get to his hand twice, we can see that the double finesse would lose with both honours in the West hand. Now this I'd much rather have as a question. Who has the best temperament, Mark? The player who can play well even after having a disaster. Can you think of any in particular?
Well, Bob Hammond
I would say Helgemo and Helnes. They never say a word. They just play on, and they forget about bad boards.
Very
I don't know if you heard me, Mark.
lost my connection there for a moment, Roland. I mentioned Philip Cronier that he's playing.
I mentioned Helnes and Helgemo, particularly Helgemo.
I think Andrew Robson is probably quite good at just moving on to the next board. That's the secret at this game. Get a bad result, put it behind you, you can't do anything about it. Concentrate on the 13 cards in front of you on the next deal. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't mention Forrester, although people tell me that he has mellowed over the years. But he has a temper.
I can think of
That's no secret.
a senior player who's got a very even temperament. That's Patrick Jourdain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a nice man. Absolutely. He's been our boss for I don't know how many years. How many years has he been the president of the International British Press Association? Well, certainly many, many, many years. I can't remember how many, maybe Mark can. Yeah. Or he can look it up. Do I think that if North should respond here? Of course he should. Why? Yeah. He doesn't promise. Sure. Nothing wrong with that. So, 3 imps to Israel. Is there an opportunity here for England? Can they get to 4 spades? And if they do, can they make it? I think it's a pretty good effort to take 10 tricks. That's what Declare did in the other room. One spade, one no trump, 2 spades. I can't see any other auction. Well, he could have bid 2 hearts, I suppose, which is a spade rebid, isn't it? So what is 2 spades instead of 2 hearts? Peter Crouch, we have in the audience, he knows the system. Is 2 spades a better hand? He could have bid 2 hearts, which wouldn't show hearts. Peter Crouch thinks that this should show spades and clubs, but they must have changed it. But if it does show spades and clubs, Robson will be delighted. What is Peter Crouch's username? It is pitiful. Well, the name isn't pitiful as such, if you see what I mean, but the name is pitiful. Al Hollander tells me that from 2015, 2 of the major show 6 of that suit and 14 to 16 high card points. And that is exactly what he has. So Peter Crouch has just been asked if he is the soccer player from Stoke City. No. The footballer is taller than our Peter Crouch, the bridge player. And better looking, yeah. And earning more money, I assume. But that I don't know for sure. Yes, to Peter Crouch, the footballer is taller than anyone. Well, more or less. Maybe not Robson. I think Robson is 2 meters, isn't he? I only know it in meters. I have no idea about foot, feet, inches, whatever.
Well, he's certainly a very tall declarer.
Yeah. Well, what would that be in your money, Mark? 2 meters?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yes, but what would that be?
Oh, you mean in
7?
inches?
Yes.
Well, he must be over 7 foot. He'd be very good at basketball, or what else do you, is it very good to be very tall at?
Volleyball.
Oh, yes,
6'6".
volleyball. Or in the line-out at rugby.
Yeah, right. Why are we not focusing on the play, I'm asked. Well, that's a very good question. He won't take 10 tricks, that's for sure. Because he already lost 4 tricks. So yes, when you're 6'6", you can look down on your partner to know it's raining, and the last to know when the grass needs cutting. That's true.
My pair has just said, why do you say that tricks no more, no less, when we can talk about much more interesting things?
Well, this isn't particularly interesting either, I wouldn't think. So I'll be away for maybe 3 minutes or so, Mark. You're on your own.
Timing you.
Okay.
Right, well, there's West's first decision of sorts. Should he introduce his 4-card club suit or rebid his 6-card major. I like bidding both my suits if I've got 2 of them, so I don't mind that. And then East had a decision. Should he give preference to hearts on his doubleton or rebid his 6-card suit? He's decided to rebid his decent 6-card suit. Pretty sure most people would go down that route, so another 2-spade contract for Forrester to tackle. And it's another one where really shouldn't present him with too many difficulties. My guess is he'll probably score
Well, at least partner has a better fit in spades now.
9 tricks.
Yes, singleton. Yeah. So what are you suggesting, that they will subtract €1 for every minute I'm away from the computer?
No, but it's a jolly good idea, especially if they give it to your co-commentator.
Exactly. Well, at least they won't pay us in pounds. That would be a very bad idea after yesterday.
Dear, well, I really don't want to talk about it, Roland. Gloom and doom has descended.
Absolutely. I can tell you that yesterday it cost 9 krona and 83 Danish krona to buy £1. Today you can buy it for 907. That's a drop of 13%.
Wow, isn't that fantastic? Marvellous.
Marvellous, yes. I'm going to wait just a day or two, I think. Maybe it's Monday, maybe it's even lower then, and then I'll buy pounds, because it will stabilize at some point.
You see, here was I thinking you had to go all the way to Manchuria.
All the way to what,
To be brainwashed. Could be Manchuria. Do you remember the Manchurian candidate?
Oh, yes, right, yes. Thank you, Peter. It's 9:23 now. We're going up a bit. Nice.
Actually, Roland, I did see one quite amusing comment this morning from someone who said, in 2 weeks' time we'll all be talking about Wimbledon and the whole thing will have been forgotten.
And if England make it to the football final in France and maybe even win it, it will all be forgotten. But you know, it's not a walkover against Iceland.
No, and I'm mindful of
They really fight for their country, don't they?
the phrases my mother taught me, right, which seems singularly appropriate, that if wishes were horses, then beggars would ride.
true. Well, something good needs to happen for England soon. Only 4 balls to go after this. And this match was particularly important for England because Israel was 8 VPs behind before the start of this match, and now they are ahead. As far as rooting or cheering is concerned, I don't mind an Israeli win here. I spent a lovely time recently in Israel for a good week, 9 days. Was fabulous. Accurate prediction by Mark. Analysis absolutely spot on. Piquera will take 9 tricks. Well, yeah, he can afford to rough with a 3, 4, 6. The 8, however, would be a mistake. Now he can't go wrong.
Breaking news, Roland. I'm seeing reports that we just made the mistake of mentioning Iceland and the famous volcano. Hecla apparently may erupt.
All right. But as long as it's Hecla, it's all right, because I can pronounce that. Do you remember that volcano some years back?
Yes. In 2000, I think it was.
Yeah, you have to be an Icelander to pronounce that correctly. I tried several times. No luck. I think I can spell it. I can't pronounce it.
Well, we can all spell it, Roland. It's IT, isn't it?
That's funny. I can't even remember the name of that volcano. Marco can hear me. Maybe he can remember it. I can look it up, of course. But I can't.
I have to say, I thought it was Hecla, but
No.
that probably isn't right. How many volcanoes have they got in Iceland?
Too many. But somebody will probably look it up for us. to a something. 2 clubs is puppets, a transfer to 2 diamonds.
Say Jaff Jalajolkal or something like that, Roland. And try saying that when you've had a couple of beers and a canapé.
Was that the longest city name in Wales?
Fanfare, Phil. Yes, no, don't start me on that one.
In Volcano circles, it's called E15, I'm told, since it begins E. Wonderful.
Excellent. You learn a lot if you listen to a bridge broadcast. It's not just about scintillating bridge play. We're educational as well.
Yes, that's what the EBL wanted. When I had that meeting with them, you know, Aubry and Hashanye in Tel Aviv, they say, well, it has to be educational also. And indeed it is. Maybe not bridge-wise.
I mean, today we've given everyone an excellent investment opportunity, suggesting they should think about buying pounds.
Yeah. Eyjafjallajökull. Does that ring a bell? Eyjafjallajökull, yes.
Yes, we talk of little else in Sutton Venger.
Well, caused a lot of problems. You know, air traffic, do you remember? They couldn't fly. It was too dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, now they may be in trouble, Israel here. You need 2 hearts doubled. And I think South bid a lot here, I have to say. I think he bid much too much. 1 club won no trump. Pass for a partner. 2 clubs doubled. Fine. Pass, 2 diamonds. Sign off, I know. 2 hearts. And you have a strong no trump over you. I just think he bid too much.
I still think East did very well to double.
He did. He doesn't have a bust, so the partner could have a penalty of 2 hearts, indeed, and certainly of 3 clubs, if they get there. But I would do well to pull to 3 clubs, because that would play much, much better than 2 hearts. What else do we have for you today, I'm asked? For us today, rather, I'm asked. Well, in the next round at 4 o'clock Central European Time, we have 6 matches as usual, obviously. Our featured match with voice will be, from the women's, the top match between France and England. Mark Horton will be back, and he will be with David Bird. And the last match In the last round today, another 6 matches, obviously. Our featured match with boys is France against Italy. Also a good one in the Open. Let's see, they get 500 against this contract. 10 of clubs is a nice card for Zach. The problem is that he can't get to the king of diamonds. It's at least 1 down, possibly 2. Could be a nice swing for England. If it's 2 down, it's a very nice swing. Mm, 370, that's 9 imps. If they get 500, if they only get 200, then it will only be 2 imps. What should West lead here? Well, why not the Queen of Diamonds? Not so Robson. 10. Deceptive card. It won't fool the carer. At least he's happy to see the 10 of clubs in dummy. He would, of course, have liked partner to have the King of Spades instead of the King of Diamonds. I know that's a video on YouTube on how to pronounce that Icelandic volcano. But look it up yourself. I mean, enough of volcanoes, really. But Robson is always thinking. One would assume that he would go up with the Queen. Could partner really have a stiff 9, Jack? I suppose that Zach could have 5 clubs only. Is that possible? So the partner could have 2 clubs even? Well, this is the best he can. What he mustn't do now is, well, this is best. He mustn't play another diamond, but that's probably pretty easy to avoid. So he'll just lock the declarer in his hand to play something from there. Passive club. Perfect defense by Robson here. So declarer left to his own devices, and he can take 4 more tricks. 2 clubs obviously, 1 heart and a spade, and that's it. 2 down, 500, minus the 130 in the other room. That's 370 and 9 imps. Yeah, Declarer can't have the Jack of Hearts when he plays the heart suit this way, so it was safe for Robson to let it go. In the other top match, Bulgaria against Netherlands, with one board to play, Bulgaria lead by 3 imps. If Declarer plays his last club, Robson will have to unblock the King of Spades. But I'm sure he will. He can actually also throw a heart as it is. No way Declarer can get back to a hard trick. But he can't throw a small spade. It's not easy, sorry, difficult, I mean, to because Forrester has promised the Jack. Remember, when he was in with the Jack of Hearts, he still quit spades. So England on the board now, and they may actually climb. One club is 2+ cards. Two clubs is weak. Has opened 2 spades in the other room. Spades and the minor, or was it diamonds? Not sure. North bid 3 diamonds, which is probably a good raise in spades, and they stopped in 3 spades. Yeah, 4 hearts is interesting, if they can get there. I'm not sure Barrel will bid again. 2 hearts is the weakest possible for South. He could have bid something different if he had a better hand. If he wants to force to the 3 level, he could bid 3 clubs, for instance. He could also bid 2 diamonds, which must show heart support by a passed hand. So 2 hearts was the weakest possible. So in context, he is pretty strong now when partner can make a game try. So I think he'll jump to 4. Well, that's one way of getting to 4, I suppose. So he was happy to go to 4 all along, and on the way he showed a spade suit. Well, pretty clever, I would say. If he was prepared to play 4 and cost to bid 3 spades on the way. Now let's see. The player will lose a club, and a heart, and a spade. And what about his diamond loser? That will go away on a spade. England now ahead of Israel by 0.02 VPs. Of a VP, I should say. But probably not after this board, because this should make. Or certainly not after this board. If it makes, it will be 7 imps to Israel if it does. No useful discards, so he might as well ruff this in order to advance the 10 of hearts. Would I bid clubs again with Robson's hand here? I wouldn't. I mean, I did open lights in third, and partner's race was weak. I know I can't buy the contract anyway. So, no, it's futile really to bid 3 clubs over 2 hearts. Yeah, so that's exactly what he did. He ruffed it. Will be pleased to see the Queen of Hearts.
How do you think declare 3?
Yeah, but you know he's going down now. He's being tapped. You see? Forrester has plenty of clubs. He should have played spades earlier.
Oh yes, right. He's in big trouble now. But he'd have also, I think, had to play very well to make it on a diamond lead. It was actually one of the classic conundrums for East as to what he should lead. Should he lead a club hoping that what has actually occurred would take place, that he's in a position where declarer can run out of trumps, or should he have led a diamond hoping that he'd score one of his little trumps perhaps? But the diamond lead was very threatening.
Yes, that's true. Well, you may argue it was a mistake to ruff that good club. Then again, if Heart had been 3-2, it would have been okay, right? It's only because they're 4-1.
Yeah, I think that if East leads a diamond, what you might have, very counterintuitive to me, is you might have to play a club. The knockout.
knock out what,
the ace of
Mark?
clubs.
I think.
I don't think it would be good
Okay.
enough to play a heart. They'd win and play another diamond, and now you inevitably lose diamond, a club, a heart, and a spade. But I don't think he'd have played a club. I think he'd have played a heart. It looks the natural thing to do.
Two diamonds is multi. Weak with 1 6-card major. I think it can be 5 of these colours. Yes, indeed, it can.
Directors just announced 10 minutes left.
That won't give you much of a rest, Mark. I'm off and be back for the last match today. It's true that the next round will start in 28 minutes, and they are punctual, aren't they, Mark? They start on time.
Absolutely, to the very second.
So 2 no trumps is a transfer to 3 clubs. But Burrell chose to show his diamond suit instead. He had a feeling Gardner had a weak hand with clubs, of course. In fact, he could have nothing else. So he chose to go for 3 diamonds, which definitely is a better contract than 3 clubs. The danger is that South will bid again. Queen Jack of Spades, maybe not great cards. All cocks. Queen Jacks. On the other hand, Parter didn't get in directly over 2 diamonds, so how strong can he be? Most people would get in directly if they had a strong hand, with a double, 2-way double, either a weak no trump line or any 17 plus hand. They're plenty high here. I don't even think 3 diamonds can make. 2 spades, a club, and 2 hearts to lose, right? Yeah. Stay down 1. But that will be 1 imp to Israel before the last board. So while this is playing out, let me take the opportunity to thank our excellent operator in Budapest. His name is Mark Sellis. They're all doing a wonderful job. Thanks, Mark, for your company here. Thanks to Al, Yuval, Marku, Paul, maybe I forgot some, for doing the text commentary. Thanks to the organizers in Hungary, the European Bridge League and the Hungarian Bridge Federation. Thanks to BBO for providing this platform, greatly appreciated by bridge fans all over the world. And of course, thanks to you, listeners, for coming this afternoon and for all your questions. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you will be back a little later. A little later is in, well, 24 minutes, where we have 6 new matches for you, one of which is the voice match from the women's the match between France and England. Thanks very much. Why is this taking so... Oh. Did he go 2 down? Can't really believe it. I could see it 1 down, but how did he go 2 down? Okay, we'll have to trust the operator. But in fact, we don't have to. We can just look at the official scoreboard eventually to see what the scoreline is. Robson got a hard rough. I see. Oh, right. 4 spades. Any swing here? Spade looser. Heart looser. Diamond looser. Could be on the hard guess. Yeah, they got a hard lead. A hard rough that shouldn't really get, but it happened. So 2 more imps to England. Only 7 behind before the last board. They can't gain here. There's a risk. There was. Now it's very easy to make. On and on Hartley.
Yeah, in the other room, North doubled 1 spade. You wouldn't go down then, would you? You wouldn't get the heart guess wrong after a double.
Indeed. But here, he was on a guess in heart. He had no clues.
Yeah. I'm sure I've read somewhere that leading an unsupported ace is a dubious strategy.
Well, they can still defeat a double dummy. If North switches to the Jack of Diamonds and South ducks this, they can get a diamond rough.
So they can.
But if he can find the switch to the Jack of Diamonds, I don't think North will go up. His partner didn't catch the King of Hearts, he probably doesn't have it. So the Jack of Diamonds can't be a singleton when he didn't lead. Interesting. Indeed interesting. And a very important board. As would I.
In his excellent book with Tafan Thias about opening leads against suit contracts, David Bird indicates that leading a double turn, which at one time was much despised, can in fact be an extremely good idea.
Yeah. No. Obviously South encouraged hearts because he thought partner had the ace king. Maybe he shouldn't have. Okay, now it's easy. It will be a flat board. And Israel by 7. Thanks, Mark. See you some other time.
Yeah, good commentating.
Thank you. You'll get an email later. And I'll be back at 1840 for France, Italy. Bye for now.